Well, here we are. It took a little while to get this figured out, but we're back to the pulse width modulator, NE555 timer, with an IGBT from a RAV4 connected directly to the pins with a positive and a signal and a ground. And by adjusting the potentiometer here, you can see that that light brightens and dims accordingly. So that indicates that the one high side of the IGBT is functional. So we're just going to quickly test the low side. So here's the second half of the IGBT. Had to get creative. Because I blew up the last of my NE555 timers I'm using as an oscillator. But if you short the driver input to ground, it also enables the IGBT circuit because it's a pull to ground circuit. And so there's a really simple way to test the IGBT without even any kind of an oscillator. So number one is okay. So for simplicity of wiring, we're testing the same half as the second part of IGBT1, and we can see that that is also working sufficiently well. So we move to IGBT number 3 with the same wiring configuration as number 2 and the second half of number 1, just for simplicity. And I'm going to test the second half of number 3 and number 2 next. So there we can see that one half of number 3 is working fine. You'll notice immediately, Peter, this one is different, and then it's got a connector here that the other two don't have. And this is the current sensing board for the motor. And I'll probably call you and we'll talk about that, because I think I'm just going to send this with it rather than pulling it out from here. It's a simple thing, but I think it's just better probably for you to not have to mess with any of the details. Okay. Okay, so we're just testing this manually here by grounding the input signal, and that's because I blew up my last NE555 timer. So that's the second half of IGBT number 3 with the extra current monitoring circuit. Okay, we're back to IGBT number 2 in order to test the first half of it to make sure that it's working, because we did the other ones by trying to simplify the wiring. And I'm just manually shorting this out as I did with IGBT number 3 because I've ended up blowing up my last 555 timer. So that's just simulating the same pulse that the timer does, and we can see that that's switching on and off. So that looks like we've got 3 good IGBTs.